Aspartame is a toxin, and it's unique in this hazardous respect. This is not an allergic reaction, but rather a true toxin. No other food can provide as a comparison to the toxic nature of NutraSweet upon closer examination. The available research revealed that the manufacturer, Monsanto, and the FDA are manipulating the public through the media into thinking that aspartame is safe, and it isn't. GD Searle approached Dr. Harry Wiseman, biochemist, professor of pediatrics, and director of the University of Wisconsin's Joseph P. Kennedy, Jr. Memorial Laboratory of Mental Retardation Research, and a respected expert in phenylalanine toxicity, to conduct a study of the effects of aspartame on primates. The study was initiated on January 15, 1970, and was terminated on or about April 25, 1971. Dr. Wiseman died unexpectedly in March 1971. 7 infant monkeys were given aspartame with milk. 1 died after 300 days. 5 others out of the 7 total had grand mal seizures. The actual results were hidden from the FDA when GD Searle submitted its initial applications. GD Searle denied knowledge of or involvement with the initiation, design, or performance of the study. Yet false results were submitted to the FDA like the rest of the 150 GD Searle studies on aspartame and other products. Bearing a serial pathology toxicology project number, both Dr. Wiseman and GD Searle were responsible for the study design. A number of false statements were made by GD Searle, including that the animals were unavailable for purchase for autopsy after the termination of the study. The FDA banned the sweetener cyclamate in 1969. Dr. Chouplan, who was the acting director of FDA's Toxicological Services Center for Food Safety and Applied Nutrition, was quoted as saying, "The decision was more a matter of politics than science." Neuroscientist and researcher John W. Olney found that oral intake of glutamate, aspartame, and all excitotoxic amino acids caused brain damage in mice. Dr. John Olney informed GD Searle that aspartic acid caused holes in the brains of mice. Ann Reynolds, a researcher who was hired by GD Searle and who has done research for glutamate MSG Association and was asked to confirm Dr. Olney's test. Dr. Reynolds confirmed aspartame neurotoxicity in infant mice. Excitotoxic compound like MSG aspartame seem to create hypothalamic lesions, particularly in young animals. The reason for the latter is likely the fact that the blood-brain barrier closes most slowly, if ever completely, around such structures like the hypothalamus. The outcome for such animals was obesity and severe behavioral changes. GD Searle did not inform the FDA of this study until after aspartame's approval. None of the studies submitted by GD Searle to the FDA contradicted these findings. An internal GD Searle memo laid out their strategy for getting aspartame approved. In 1972, FDA toxicologist Dr. Adam Gross came upon some irregularities in the submitted test of the GD Searle drug Flagyl. GD Searle did not respond for another 2 years. This response raised serious questions about the validity of their test. On March 5, 1973, GD Searle's petition to the FDA for approval to market aspartame as a sweetening agent was published in the Federal Register. On March 21, 1973, the MBR report was submitted to GD Searle. In August of 1970, GD Searle conducted 2 78-week toxicity studies on rats for what was to become the best-selling heart medication, Aldactone. One study was conducted at GD Searle and one at Hazleton Laboratories, and you might remember them for having a hand in the Ebola virus. In March 1972, the rats were autopsied and the pathology slides were analyzed for contamination of the results. GD Searle sent the slides to Biological Research LDT, where board-certified pathologist Dr. Jacqueline Morrow examined the data. She discovered that the drug appeared to induce tumors in the liver, testes, and thyroid of the rats. The report submitted to GD Searle by Dr. Morrow was known as the MBR report. These statistically significant findings were confirmed by GD Searle's Mathematics Statistics Department. Instead of submitting these alarming facts to the FDA, GD Searle contracted with another pathologist, Dr. Donald A. Willigan. He was given 1,000 slides to examine. The Willigan report was more to GD Searle's liking, because it revealed a statistically significant increase in thyroid and testis tumors, but not in liver tumors. Liver tumors are much more concerned to the FDA. The Willigan report was immediately submitted to the FDA. GD Searle did not disclose the MBR report to the FDA until August 18, 1975, 27 months after it had been given to GD Searle. At first, GD Searle claimed they did not submit the MBR report to the FDA because of an oversight. The FDA commissioner from 1972 to 1976, Alexander Schmidt, felt that superficially it seemed like if there would ever be a safe kind of product, that would be it. The idea that two naturally occurring amino acids could harm someone in relatively small amounts. In the FDA memorandum dated September 12, 1973, Martha M. Freeman, MD, of the FDA Division of Metabolic and Endocrine Drug Products, addressed the adequacy of the information submitted by GD Searle in their petition to approve aspartame. Although it was stated that studies were also performed with DKP, an impurity which results from acid hydrolysis of aspartame, no data are provided on this product. Commenting on one particular single-dose study, it is not feasible to extrapolate results on such single-dose testing to the likely condition of use of aspartame as an artificial sweetener.